Hello and welcome to AJ Storytime channel for kids. How are you guys? I hope that you guys have a really nice day today. We are going to continue reading Martin Luther King Jr. Today is I Am Martin Luther King Jr. We are learning so much about him, about his life, and everything he did for us, right? Yes. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell. If you like my story time, just click on the like button. And don't forget to share my videos with other people so you can have the opportunity to learn with me and also allow other people to learn. If you don't know how to read yet, you maybe will learn to read with me. And don't forget that I have story time Monday to Fridays at 7 p.m., at 8:30, and also at 9:30 for bedtime story. So if you are ready, let's get started with this amazing book. And this is our last book that I'm going to be reading about Dr. Martin Luther King, right? Because his birthday is January 17, 2022. So let's get started. I Am Martin Luther King Jr. by Brad Meltzer. I am Martin Luther King Jr. He's so funny, right, guys? He looks so cute. When I was a little boy, I used to get into a lot of accidents. Look at that. Can you imagine? One day, my little brother hit me in the head with a baseball bat. Whoa, amazing fall. Are you okay? I'm okay. No matter how many times I fell, I kept getting back up. Even before I could read, I knew I liked books. My dad always talked about how I kept a lot of books around me. When I grow up, I'm going to get me some big words. There is a power in words. Big words were in my future. When I was 6 years old, one of my best friends, that was a boy whose father owned a store across the street, tag you it, you're it, no, you're it, no, you're it. My friend was white. I was black. It didn't matter to us. We will play games and have fun together. But when we started going to school, everything changed. He went to a school where all the kids that were white went. I went to school where everyone was black. Soon after, he told me, I can't play with you anymore. My dad says so. He doesn't want us to be friends. Why? But why? You are one of my best friends, aren't you? Aren't you? I didn't understand. It didn't make any sense. At dinner, my parents explained, it's because you are black and he's white. I was so mad that day. How could someone treat me different just because of the color of my skin? I wanted to hate my friend and his father. You are as good as anyone. You must never feel less than anyone else. That's what his mom said. But my parents told me to do the opposite, that I should love my friends. Even though he hurt me, they told me that it's better to have more love in your life than more hate. Then my mother told me one of the most important lessons of all. I wanted to believe, but every day I saw the opposite. I saw you could be treated unfairly just because of the color of your skin. If you were white, you went to a good school with great playgrounds and plenty of books. And if you were black, your school was small sometimes with no desk or even windows. Check it out, a playground. Check it out. Where's our playground? It wasn't just the school. Black people have to use different water fountains, different elevators, different bathrooms. In fact, on a hot day when everyone wanted ice cream, if you were white, you could sit at the counter and eat from a nice dish. But since I was black, if they served me at all, it was through a side window, and they put my ice cream in a flimsy paper cup. This is ice cream? This ice cream is perfect. My ice cream is melted. Oh, poor Martin. It got even worse when I was 14. I had just won a speech competition. My speech was about being fair to all people. I was so excited. Then, on the bus ride home, a few white people got on board. You need to give up your six to the whites. At first, I stayed put. It didn't seem fair, but my teacher convinced me to move. We spent the rest of the ride standing and getting tossed in every direction. It was the angriest I had ever been. Every day, this is what life was like. Black people were treated terrible, and the only question was, what could I do about it? At the age of 15, I started college. By 19, I became a minister and entered seminary school to study religion. Over those years, I read the words of Henry David Thoreau and Mahatma Gandhi. Thoreau told me about civil disobedience, how an evil system could be changed without violence. Gandhi opened my mind to the power of nonviolent resistance. What's that? Love. It is using love and peaceful methods to change unfair things in society. It was a lesson I wanted to share with everyone. In no time at all, I got my chance. In Alabama, a black woman named Rosa Parks was told to give up her seat to a white man. It was just like what happened to me. But, unlike me, Mrs. Parks refused and she was arrested. Early the next morning, I got a phone call from a local community leader. This is time to take a stand. We should boycott the buses so everyone knows that we won't accept the treatment anyone. Do not ask if it's easy. Ask if it's right. You know that's not gonna be easy. It was just like Terrell thought. Instead of using violence to protect the unfairest rule, black people will use a peaceful method. We will not ride the public buses without our money. The bus companies would go out of business. Now, the only question was, will it work? Interesting. On the first day of the protest, my wife called me to the window. The buses are empty. It's working. We have to keep it going. As the head of the bus boycott, I gave one of the most important speeches of my life. We are determined here in Montgomery to work and fight until justice runs down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. When the history books are written in the future, somebody will have to say, there live a race of people, a black people, who have the moral courage to stand up for their rights. The room was packed. Camera crews were filming. I had only 20 minutes to prepare. I didn't use notes, but speaking from my heart, I found out how big words can be. The police put me in jail saying I was breaking the law. Other folks bombed my house, but instead of using my feet, I kept calm. Don't you want to fight back? I am a man of non-violence, and I know that I do not stand alone. We are with you all the way, Reverend. If no one rides, these buses will go out of business. You are finally getting that, For more than a full year, every black person in the city, and some white people too, refused to ride the buses. That meant some people have to walk for miles, but they kept going. There was a power in standing together. Eventually, our peaceful protest worked. The rules were changed, and public buses could no longer separate people based on the color of their skin. That was only the beginning. Soon, our peaceful protest sparked other peaceful protests. And at lunch counters, college students organized sit ins where they would not stop until everyone could eat together. Our methods of nonviolence were so powerful, I was invited to meet with the president at the White House. But sometimes the harder problems were right at home. Daddy, look, an amusement park. Please, can we go? I'm sorry, Jockey, we cannot. Funtown is not open to black people? Seeing my daughter cry was one of the most painful moments of my life. It only made me work harder for a chance. Was it easy? Absolutely not. During one protest in Birmingham, Alabama, the police again arrested me and locked me in a dark jail cell that had only one window. Someone slipped me a newspaper in which white religious leader had written an article calling us lawbreakers. Someone then snuck me a pen. In that jail cell, I wrote my own responses to the in the margin of the newspaper and even on toilet paper. My letter from Birmingham jail was so soon published as a pamphlet. Then it was a magazine and newspaper. Today, it has been read by millions of people. Like I say, it's amazing how big words can be. Our message was so important, even kids your age joined us. In Birmingham during the Children's Crusade, more than 1,000 kids, soon as young as 6 years old, show up to march. What do you want? Freedom! The first day, the police arrested 900 of them. The next day, 2,500 children show up and ready to go to jail. This was our finest hour. Enraged that we were not giving up, the chief of police told the firemen to spray the children with water hose and attack them with dogs. They thought it would stop us, but instead, as the whole country watched on TV what they were doing to our children, it was a wake-up call for the nation's conscience. How can they treat little kids like that? That's not right. We need to help them. 90 days later, the rules began to change. Now, blacks and whites in Birmingham were using the same lunch counters, water fountains, and restrooms. You could feel it in the air. More change was coming. Freedom was contagious. By the summer of 1963, an estimated 1 million Americans held their own protests in cities across the country. A man named A. Philip Randolph suggested a massive march. If we march together peacefully, they won't be able to ignore us. Together, we can convince Congress and the president to pass law so that no one in America can treat people differently based on skin color. I like the idea. Where should we have it? There is only one place. People came from almost every state. They came in nearly every form of transportation. They even took off work, and they did not get paid just to be there. Old people, young people, black people, white people, even children like you. They all came to Washington, D.C., gathering in the righteous army. Why? Because they wanted a change. And they knew the surest way to change the world is to stand together. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. On August 28, 1963, I stood at the podium and spoke what some later called my biggest word of all. March on Washington, D.C. for job and freedom. I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream that one day little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with the little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. Let freedom ring. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. After the March on Washington, the President and Congress passed new laws for civil rights. But that didn't mean our work was done. Indeed, our greatest battle was still to come. It began with 600 activists as they tried to walk 54 miles from Selma, Alabama to the state capital of Montgomery. Back then, there were rules that stopped black people from voting. If you want to change the law, you have to be able to vote for new people who made the law. We are marching to tell the governor we want voting rights. This brutality must end, no matter what. Don't let them pass. The police have billy clubs and tear gas. They attack our group and knock many people down. But as I learned so long ago, you have to get back up, no matter how hard they hit us. We remain peaceful and still we didn't get through. 2 days later, we try again. Now there were 2,500 of us. Nah, you won't. I promise you won't pass. We will get through Montgomery. Once again, we try. Once again, we did not get through. Did we give up? Nope. What do you think? It was Sunday, March 21st, 1965. Our third try. Now we have 8,000 people with us. We are on the move. We shall overcome. Check out the ground. Black, white, Christian, Jewish, all standing together. For 2 days, we marched. Rain could not stop us. The world was watching. The White House was too. President Johnson even sent troops to protect us. Exhaustion could not stop us. As we reached Montgomery, Alabama, tears were shed. But this time, they were tears of joy. In my life, people tried to tell me I wasn't as good as they were just because of the color of my skin. When someone hurts you like that, it can be tempting to hurt them back. You must refuse. When someone shows you hate, show them love. When someone shows you violence, show them kindness. To reach our goals, we must walk the path of peace. We must lock arms with our brothers and sisters. We must march together. When we do, such an amazing and powerful story. Do you have a story to tell? Do you want to make a change in your life or in somebody's life? Do you want to help other people? This is the time. You are amazing. You have a gift. You have a talent. Okay? Do good at school, go to school, learn, become a very educated person, and you can achieve everything you want. I hope that you enjoy the story time of Martin Luther King. Happy Martin Luther King's Day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. Bye.